You know, sometimes, unfortunately, minorities, they'll get into an environment where they're the only one. It's important for you to take a look at it and say, okay, am I the only one, and become intimidated and become withdrawn. However, on the flip side, if you look at it like I look at it and say, this is an opportunity to represent minorities all across the world, not just in communications, not just in aerospace and defense, but across the entire gamut. And it's an opportunity for you to educate and enlighten others that may not know a lot. When young kids and aspiring PR and communications professionals can see someone like myself, or a woman, or someone that has broken the initial barrier to get into a big corporation and work in a communications department, that gives them inspiration, and it gives them hope, and it gives them the idea that it's not impossible.
I got tired of saying what was not being done, and I decided to get involved in the solution.
As a recruiting firm, we were hearing from our clients all the time about their need to try to find ethnic minorities. We found out that even though we thought it was a difficult task, we didn't know how difficult it was until we were able to link up with the LAGRANT Foundation and find out through their research just how woefully lacking there was in not only just in public relations, but also in marketing and advertising. The amount of financial support he's gotten from companies has been incredible. That has to do with the awareness.
The demand far outsees the supply. Applications come and we sit in a room with people all over the country, and those applications are reviewed by my peers.
When I see the students as a group, it's very impressive, and the overall impression that you have is these are students that are going to go far. I
make the phone calls. I basically tell the kids that they have been selected.
So he kind of revved up my energy at midnight that night, even though I had an exam, and I couldn't even go back to sleep. That's how excited I was.
Families will pick up the phone and call me and thank me and thank me and thank me again.
I think after I got off the phone with him, I literally jumped on my bed and called my parents. I was extremely happy.
So if you're going into an advertising agency or a PR firm or a corporation, you have got to be prepared.
When he comes to us, he's looking for a specific target. He's talking modern looking, technology driven. He's talking about colors that are bright, and he just gives us all this language, and we absorb all that and run back to our desk and cry.
Students believe what they see. They see how real that career is for them. And then they start to think through the supply chain of advertising, marketing, and PR and say, where do I fit in the scheme of this organization? And that makes it real for them.
I've heard about Fleshman Hilliard, I've heard about Hill & Knowlton, I've heard about all these big firms, but never knew what it looked like on the inside. I mean, if you didn't have any internship experience or any opportunity to see what those operations were like beforehand, you definitely got it through the career development sessions.
I don't think the students have thought that far ahead and said, wow, I need to think about how to interview for a job. I need to think about how to prepare a resume. I need to think about connecting with the person that's interviewing me. We're providing those skills to our workshops. The students, when they finish the workshops, come out saying, wow, I'm empowered.
At the time, I remember thinking, this is exactly what I want to do. It's perfect.
The board has been phenomenal. The role of the board is multifaceted. One is to raise money. 2, they act as spokespeople. 3, they review applications for the scholarship. 4, they provide internships. Because at the end of the day, what's important to me is to actually get minority students placed.
And as soon as he heard that I was looking for an internship, he started throwing names out there of people he knew. And one of the most impressive connections I made was through Kim, which was I was actually able to talk to Rick Carpenter, who is the CEO of DDB Chicago. Through him, I was able to speak with the HR department in New York as well as in California. It was a rare opportunity to be able to talk to someone that high up on the ladder, especially without even having a job. I wasn't even a junior yet. I was still just looking for an internship. The thing I support LAGRANT about is because they're bringing this issue down to the lower levels and to the schools where when people are starting to get interested in advertising and marketing communications instead of just taking this upper tier position where it's just like, let's fill a quota.
Some people believe that the playing field needs to be leveled, meaning that You know, everyone needs to have the same education level. Everyone should have the same opportunities for careers. The ones that recognize that the playing field isn't going to be level, but adapt to that, are the ones that are going to succeed.
Oh, probably every day. I wish I had a mentor. And what I did not want many of the kids to do is to go through that, what I call that lone path.
It's difficult for a lot of younger people of color to enter into the field and to find mentors that reflect what they look like. I'm extremely lucky to have such great mentors. They always tell me stories about how they pretty much were the trailblazers. You know, him and Bill both opened their agencies about the same time. They've really established themselves to give us somebody to look up to, and for that I'm extremely grateful that this isn't something I have to do on my own.
I'm always going to be there as a role model for anyone because at the end of the day, I didn't have those when I was growing up.
I think that's what we're here for. Those of us that have been in the industry a long time, if we can't leave a path behind us, then I think we're missing a very important aspect of our lives. Giving back is really what it's all about.
I see the LAGRANT Foundation being turned over to the next generation of people, people that have been helped by this organization.
I have a committee putting together the next 10 years because the marketplace is changing and changing quickly, and I think the foundation needs to be ahead of that curve or at that curve.
The magic of the LAGRANT Foundation is the leader.
Always there for you, never stops doing. He's a terrific professional, he's a terrific partner, and you couldn't ask for anyone who was more knowledgeable about the industry. He just inspires you.
Kim was the kind of guy who could describe walking out of this office, getting in the elevator and going downstairs and make it sound like it was a romantic experience. I mean, he's just a very passionate guy. Listen, you know, the fact that he's charismatic, the fact that he's so passionate about it, the fact that he's so committed to it, in some respects to me still pales in comparison to the fact it was just a brilliant idea on his part.